Hello. So this video is just a few examples on adding and subtracting with algebraic fractions for our Essential Skills 4 worksheet. So just a little reminder on how those work before you have a crack at the practice questions. Okay, I'll get rid of my annoying face and we'll have a look. Okay, so this first one, we've got numbers on the bottom. So this sort of works just like how normal adding and subtracting fractions would normally work. We need to make sure we've got a common denominator. So the lowest common multiple of 5 and 3 is going to be 15. So we're going to write each of these fractions with a new denominator that is 15. So there we go. 15 is my, oh dear, that's a bit of a mess. 15, there we go, is my new denominator for each, and I am adding those fractions. There we go, so that's our first step. Now we need to think about what have I done to this fraction to change that bottom number to 15. I had to multiply it by 3, so I must be doing the same on the top. I'm going to multiply this by 3, so if I've got 3 lots of 2x, that's going to be 6x. And we need to have that same thought process over here. What have I done to the bottom of this fraction to change it to 15? I multiplied it by 5. So we're going to have to do the same over here. We're going to multiply this by 5, which means 5y. Now, when I add these together, the denominator stays the same. They're both 15, so it stays as 15 on the bottom there. And now my new numerator is going to be these guys added together. So 6x plus 5y. 6x plus 5y, and maybe I should extend that fraction line there. Yours obviously will look a lot neater than mine. Good. Okay, let's look at the next one then. I'll scroll that up a wee bit. So we've got 3 over x plus 2 plus 4 over 3x. Now this one's a little bit trickier because we've got algebra in the bottom of our fraction in our denominators. So we're going to need to think of a way of writing a common denominator for these guys. And the best we can do in a situation like this is just to multiply the two denominators together. So I'm going to have to multiply this by 3x, and I'm going to have to multiply this by x plus 2. So my new denominator is going to be, let's write it like this, 3x brackets x plus 2, and you could expand that out if you felt like it, but I'm just going to leave it factorized like that at the moment. So we've got 3x x plus 2. Whoops, there we go. Now this fraction, what have I done to this bottom part to change it from this to this? Well, I had to multiply it by 3x, so we're going to do the same over here. We're going to take this 3, we're going to multiply by 3x, so that makes 9x. And need to have the same kind of thought process over here. What have I done to my denominator? I had to multiply it by x plus 2. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to multiply 4 by x plus 2. And I'm going to sort of do two steps here. So x plus 2 multiplied by 4, that's going to be 4x plus 8. Can we see what's happened there? So you could have written it in a factorized form first and then expanded that out. I've just done that sort of step in my head and I've ended up with this here. Which means we are going to get our final answer of... Denominator stays the same again like it did before, so I've got 3x, let's make that x look a bit xier, there we go, x plus 2, and on the top I've got 9x plus 4x plus 8, so that's going to be a total of 13x plus 8. There we go. And the last example then, this one, be careful, is a subtraction. First thing, same as before, we need to come up with a common denominator. And so we've got algebra in our denominators again, so we could do the same as we did up here, but I reckon there is a little bit of a shortcut. If we think about what could be a common multiple of b squared and 5b, I reckon 5b squared would work as a common denominator. 5b squared, 5b squared. So let's think about the one on the left. What have I had to do to this to change it into 5b squared? Well, I had to multiply it by 5, obviously. So we're going to do the same on the top. We're going to multiply that by 5. And I'm going to get 15a, because 3a multiplied by 5 is going to be 15a. What have I had to do with this one to change 5b into 5b squared? Well, I had to multiply by b, so this is going to get multiplied by b as well, and I'm going to end up with 2b on the top there. 2b. So now I've got my new denominator is 5b squared. 5b squared. Oh, I haven't given myself much space for the top part there. Sorry, apologies, I'll rub that out and start again. So my denominator, that will be 5b squared. My numerator is going to be, remember we're doing a subtraction, 15a take away 2b. 15a take away 2b. And there's no simplifying I can do here because these aren't like terms. And I can't do any simplifying of the whole fraction either because there's no common factors between all of the top and the bottom. So these two bits have a b in common, but it's not all of the numerator, so I can't cancel out a b. These two bits have a 5 in common, but it's not all of the top, so I can't cancel out the 5 either. So that is my final answer. We can't do any simplifying there. That's us done. Okay, have a crack at those Essential Skills 4 questions. And I'll speak to you later. Cheers, bye.